Most people think the Triads are just a gang from old movies, but I spent 6 months inside their structure to find out how they actually run the world. I didn't just look at them from the outside, I mapped every single layer of the most secretive criminal syndicate in human history. Let's start at the bottom, because that is where the vast majority of members die. You have the 49ers, or the Blue Lanterns. These are your foot soldiers. They do the heavy lifting, the smuggling, and the collection. They are called 49ers because their initiation fee was traditionally 4.90 yuan. It is a pathetic sum for a life sentence of violence. These guys aren't the brains, they are the expendable assets. They exist to be caught so the people above them don't have to be. Move up one rung and you hit the straw sandals. In the old days, they were the messengers. They wore straw sandals to move quickly across the mountains of Guangdong to deliver orders. Today, they are your high-level fixers. They negotiate with the police, manage the bribes, and ensure the flow of capital remains uninterrupted. They are the diplomats of the underworld. If there is a dispute between two factions, the straw sandals settle it before the knives come out. But the real power begins at the white paper fan. This isn't a street fighter. This is a chief financial officer. They are the brains. They manage the legitimate businesses that wash the dirty money. Real estate, shipping, nightclubs, and tech startups. They speak the language of the boardroom, not the street corner. A 49er kills for a paycheck. A white paper fan kills a deal to protect a portfolio. They are the most dangerous people in the hierarchy because they are invisible. Parallel to them, you have the red poles. These are the military commanders. If the white paper fan is the strategist, the red pole is the general. They control the brute force. They oversee the territory. They ensure that if someone moves in on your turf, they end up in the harbor. They aren't just muscle, they are disciplined killers. Every single Triad faction, from the 14K to the Wo Xing Wo, operates on this specific division of labor. Then you reach the summit, the dragonhead, the Shan Chu. This person isn't just a boss, they are a king without a throne. They don't touch the drugs, they don't hold the knife. They sit at the center of a spiderweb that spans from Hong Kong to Vancouver, to New York to London. They are often legitimate businessmen. They sit on boards, they donate to charities, they hold the loyalty of thousands through a system of ritualized initiation that dates back to the Ming Dynasty. The rituals are wild. The oaths involve drinking blood mixed with wine. It's theatrics, but it creates a psychological bond that Western gangs can't replicate. You aren't just a member, you are part of a brotherhood that is 300 years old. When you join, you pledge to uphold the 36 oaths. If you betray the society, death is not an option, it is a mathematical certainty. The hierarchy is designed to be self-correcting. If the dragonhead gets too greedy or too visible, the red poles and white paper fans replace him. It is a corporate coup, but with more blood. Why does this system survive when most cartels and gangs get dismantled? Simple. It's the decentralization. The triads aren't one single company. They are a franchise. Each branch operates independently, but pays tribute to the core. If you take out one dragonhead, 5 more rise to fill the vacuum. It is a hydra. You cut off one head and the structure adapts. In 1997, when Hong Kong was handed back to China, everyone thought the triads would vanish. Experts predicted they'd be crushed by the central government's grip. They were wrong. The triads just moved. They became global logistics experts. They went from selling heroin on the street to trafficking synthetic chemicals that fuel the global fentanyl crisis. They don't fight the state, they shadow it. They profit from the global economy by exploiting the cracks that legitimate systems leave behind. I've looked at the flowcharts. I've seen the way the money moves from an illegal gambling ring in Kowloon through a shell company in the Cayman Islands into a luxury apartment in London. It is a masterclass in global capitalism. They aren't just criminals, they are the dark mirror of the legitimate economy. For every legitimate trade route, there is a shadow route managed by someone sitting in a skyscraper, drinking tea, and deciding who lives or dies based on a quarterly projection. When you look at a luxury skyscraper in a major city, you aren't just looking at architecture, you are looking at a system of hierarchy that has survived wars, revolutions, and the digital age. You are looking at a system that rewards the ruthless, protects the intelligent, and discards the weak. We think of the world as being run by governments and banks. But the triads proved that if you build a structure resilient enough to survive the law, you eventually become the law. The hierarchy isn't just a list of ranks, it is a biological survival mechanism. It is designed to outlive everyone who occupies it. So, who is actually in charge? The man with the gun, the man with the money, or the man who built the system that makes both of them necessary? After climbing the entire pyramid, the answer is terrifyingly simple. Nobody is in charge. The hierarchy is the boss, and it doesn't matter who sits at the top, because the structure itself has already won. The question isn't whether they can be stopped, it is whether we are already living inside the structure they've built for us.